Hello, family, friends, and fans. I'm Fletcher Rhoden, and this is Fletcher Rhoden's Medellin Diaries. It's a mini series I'm doing from this formerly the most dangerous city in the world. I think Baltimore maybe holds that vaulted position now, but I'm here, not there, thank God. And this is what's happened to me since I've been here. If you're thinking about coming to Medellin, you might check this series out. I'll bet you there'll be useful information for you. That's why you're here. This is number three. So if you haven't seen numbers one or two, you might want to go back, watch one or two and two, watch them both to the end, and then watch this one. Or you can watch them in any order you like. It doesn't really matter to me. Watch till the end, though. Okay, so here's the deal. If you don't know me, I'm Fletcher Rhoden. I'm a writer. Got lots of books available from Amazon and Kindle and paperback and audiobook format, some of them. And I do a lot of recording. I release music pretty consistently. I've got a new album from 2024 called I'm Possible, and I've got new records coming out in 2025, two of them, uh, both of them all a cappella. So that's cool. Stay tuned for more of that. But let's talk about Medellin. So the last you heard of me, the little trooper, I was here in Medellin without a place to live. I'd set up an apartment, a few apartment connections for when I got here. But when I got here, I found out that only one of them was really going to be viable, and we couldn't hook up because I wasn't quite savvy enough with my taxi skills. So the first thing you can learn is one of the lessons from last time is don't trust a taxi driver to take you where you need to go because he might just say no. You know, the last time I tried to get a taxi driver to an appointment I had in an apartment not far away, and two guys told me it was too far to go. I don't know what I could have done about that, but I had to see another apartment, so I needed a taxi again. So I had the address on my phone, and I went up to one taxi driver with the thing right on there, and I pointed right at him. And he looked at it. He said, handed me the phone back, which I was grateful for, and that was it. Went to another guy behind him. Said, can you take me here? Guy looks at it. No. Gives me the phone. So I'm two for two again. I tried third guy, and I'm like, you can take me here, right? The guy's like, yeah. It takes him one or two attempts, but it was close by, and it wasn't expensive. So you got to be persistent with these taxi guys. Don't take no for an answer, even if you get it twice in a row. Try the third guy. Some guys are just not in the mood. That's the way it is in life. Okay, so what happened to me is, what was I going to do? I had no apartment. Tried to get to an appointment, couldn't make it. The guy wanted giving it to someone else. No problem. Tranquilo, right? That's me, Mr. Tranquilo. So I was looking on these Facebook groups for a place, not finding one, and then I decided worst thing I can do is go on Expedia, which is where I do my travel booking, and get a hotel for a month. You know how much? You know, I was willing to pay like $800 American for a studio, and people were coming back with, no, you got to pay 1,000, you got to pay more than 800, and I was willing to pay more than 800. That was just a ballpark. I knew it was going to be more than I wanted to pay. And one realtor just misunderstood me and thought that I would pay no more. But that wasn't the position I was in. I said 800 or so. That means up. So you got to be clear. Be super clear about what you want. And be persistent, you know? Although I had sent her a follow up saying, hey, I'll take a two-bedroom if I have to. Because I didn't want to live in a hotel. Really, that's expensive. And I've liked this place, the Molinos Plaza Hotel. Recommend it. But it's not meant to be lived in. So I decided I'll go on Expedia, look around. I just search for a 1 month stay. And places come up that are like turnkey studios or one bedrooms. One was even kind of in a high rise, sort of a swank deal with a pool and a Turkish sauna, Turkish bath, and a sauna and a pool, and it was like 1,200 a month, which is a lot, but a pool. Anyway, I found a place, 850, a studio. There were lots of them available. If you are coming here and you're looking for a place and you find you can't get adequate digs for what you want to pay, which is about 800 American, which is not bad. You can't get anything like that in the States for 800 that's got cable and electricity and water and all that stuff all set. Go to Expedia and do that. Put it on your credit card, like I did, and be an Expedia Club member, and then you get your reward points back and stuff. And then you can pay for it on your credit card, and you don't have to go into your currency. Cash is king around here. So anything you can buy with a credit card, buy it with a credit card, because you don't want to get stuck without cash. All right, so that's what I did. Smart, clever guy that I am, right? So I take a day, I'm done with my latest book, so now I've got the day to dedicate to this project, and I decide on a place. I choose upstairs because it'll be harder to rob and it'll be nicer view. And it was a pretty cool studio, basically, with wooden ceilings that were vaulted, cathedral style. Um, nice, nice enough. In El Poblado, which is the real nice part of town. Apparently, Laurelis, a little more closed. People just sort of live their lives in Laurelis, but in El Poblado is where they're really out mixing and mingling. So anyway, here I am. I got the place. I'm happy with it. And then immediately I get an email from some guy, a gringo like me, a Norte Americano, who's in New York, who happens to be looking at the the Facebook group, who says, "Hey, I've got a condo. I'll rent it to you for 6 months." So I go to check it out. It's awesome. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, fourth floor, quiet neighborhood, beautiful. All condo buildings in the neighborhood. Taxis right around there for all these condo people who don't want to, drive for short trips. Really nice neighborhood. 800 bucks. Uh, Perfect duration. Fell into my lap. It's more than I need, but it's exactly what I would have paid for a studio. And instead, I get this beautiful big condo. So, lucked out. It just goes to show you the lesson there, I think, is uh, get the rental protection plan like I did. When I booked my studio, I paid 50 bucks extra for the protection plan. However, it is a pain in the brain cashing in on that insurance plan. Even though it's Expedia, I thought 2 clicks, rebate, full refund. That's the way it should have been. Instead, there's a cancellation, it's in progress. Then I gotta file a claim, but I have to file that by the first, or it expires, and that's coming right up. So for that kind of thing, do it as early as you can. I guess I waited too long to do that. But anticipate the difficulty with those protection plans, but buy one anyway, because I think I'll get my full 850 bucks back, and I'd like it. That's money I want to have. So be prepared for a lucky turn, but you do want to book. If you find something you like, I wouldn't dawdle around either because the apartments do get filled up. Airbnb, forget it. It's so expensive here. I looked at Airbnb. Oh man, I'll try Airbnb. I'm so slick. It's like 1,700, $2,000 for a place here in Medellin in a nice neighborhood. You want to be in a nice neighborhood. You're not going to find the place I found for 6 months at that price, but you will find other things, and they'll be available. Go to Expedia, search by the month. Uh, but be prepared because the prices here are a lot higher than you might think. It's not cheap. It's not cheap to live in Medellin. Not if you're in a nice neighborhood, and you want to live in a nice neighborhood. I presume I do. Um, Worth the extra money. Still comparatively less than the United States or other Latin American countries. Not all of them, but Uruguay is going to be more expensive, I think, than that. Uruguay has a weird thing where they won't give you a 6 month lease. You got to do a year to 3 years commonly, and then you got to rent the furniture, and you got to pay an extra month to the real estate guy who finds you the apartment. Lots of problems. Colombia is a little bit easier. Come here, get a hotel room like I did here at the Molinos Plaza Hotel. Go on Expedia and find a place for a month to month if you don't luck into something better. This place also that I'm renting from has a electric piano and a guitar. So there might be, I might be playing with those things. There, I'm already thinking, hmm, already thinking about that. So, but in the meantime, in around May, there'll be Under the Wolf Moon. It's the first of my two a cappella albums, and then in November will be Under the Christmas Moon, which is the second of my two a cappella albums, and there'll also be a novelty Christmas comedy album released around that time for free, which you'll learn about more as you follow my misadventures here on Fletcher Rhoden's Medellin Diaries. I don't think it's going to happen as frequently as it did in the first three webisodes. This has only been like less than 10 days. But, when you're moving into a place, checking out a new city. Now, you're not going to find footage of like Medellin. I'm not going to take my camera out and take footage of it and then have my camera get swiped. Sorry. But if you want those, just look at any of these videos on Medellin. I'm sure you've seen several. I hope that I've been of some value to you, that you picked up some tips for when you're moving here to Medellin. I'll only be here for 6 months, but that's a predicament that a lot of people find themselves in. So be prepared. Uh, be ready to play it loose when you get here, and you know, worst comes to it, go to Expedia, get a month-to-month place. Be careful. If you're getting the protection plan, give yourself plenty of time to process it. Okay, that's it. Tune in again. And until then, bye, Mary.